Hi, Cherry. It's me, Grace. I just had to call you because, oh my goodness, I heard something terrible about my daughter Emily. I mean, can you even imagine? It's like the worst thing ever. I'm so worried that I can't even handle it.
Oh, hey there, Grace. Wow, what a coincidence. I was just about to call you, but you beat me to it. So, here's the deal. Brace yourself, because it's super insane. Emily, she's been picked up for shoplifting. The security caught her red-handed. Can you believe it? I couldn't believe it myself when I heard it. It's a total shocker.
No way. Are you serious, Cherry? Shoplifting? I can't even wrap my head around it. This is unacceptable. She's such a naughty girl. How could she do that? Hasn't she ever thought of her mother? About me? How embarrassed I could be to have a terrible daughter like that. What on earth possessed her to do something like that?
I know, right? It's mind-boggling. But wait, there's more. After she committed the shoplifting, the police, yes, the actual police, have taken her away and charged her. Can you believe the audacity? Now she's stuck in some police station somewhere. It's a total mess. I can't even begin to imagine how she might be feeling right now.
Oh my, it's just disappointing. Well, I'm getting used to her attitude already. To me, she's nothing but a troublemaker.
Oh, come on, Grace. Don't be so quick to dismiss it. Maybe there's a deeper reason behind Emily's actions. Think about it. Maybe she's just seeking attention from you. You know, sometimes people do crazy things to get noticed. It could be that she's feeling lonely and wants you to focus on her more. Have you considered that?
Ugh, Cherry, seriously? I highly doubt that's the case. I mean, she knows nothing but drives me crazy. I've had enough of her disruptive behavior. It's like she's constantly pushing my buttons, and I can't take it anymore. Remember that time she deliberately damaged my car just because I couldn't give her a ride to school on time? It was a nightmare. I had to shell out a ton of money to fix it, and it was all because of her outrageous behavior.
Okay. I get it. Damaging your car was definitely over the top. And I understand why you're frustrated. That was a serious breach of trust. And it's understandable that you're at your wit's end. But hey, maybe this shoplifting incident is a wake-up call for both of you. It's a chance for you to address the underlying issues and have an open conversation about her behavior. Sometimes, people need a reality check to realize the consequences of their actions.
I hear what you're saying, Cherry, but honestly, I've tried having conversations with her countless times before. It's like talking to a brick wall. She never takes responsibility for her actions and never shows any remorse. It's always excuses and blame shifting. I'm tired of being the one who has to constantly deal with the fallout of her reckless behavior. This shoplifting incident just feels like the last straw for me.
I think you're exaggerating. Emily is just a middle schooler. There's plenty of time for her to realize her mistakes and correct them.
It's not a matter of age. Other parents don't have to go through what I'm going through. She's just like Marshawn. Like father, like daughter. She's trying to ruin my life just like he did.
Things like this have nothing to do with genes. It's usually because of their surroundings. Do you know what's been going on with her life?
There are people in this world who are just bad to their core. There's no point in raising her with love. This girl knows nothing about love.
Don't say that. A child needs all the love and care in the world. Both you and Emily need some time to calm down and think things through. She can stay at my house for the time being. I'll talk to her and see what she thinks.
That girl is never going to calm down. You're going to regret taking care of her. Nothing's going to change just because you talk to her.
Well, you never know. I'm going to try my best to get to the bottom of all this. Can you drop by our house after work tomorrow? If it's hard for you and Emily to talk things out on your own, then Jose and I can stay around as well.
I can't tomorrow. I'm busy. Who's got the time to talk to that girl?
Then how about the day after tomorrow? It's the weekend, so maybe we can all go out somewhere. Have lunch, go to the park, do things that will make us all feel better.
I'm busy that day too. Because of her little escape, all my plans are messed up. I have to attend to those before I deal with her. She can stay at your house for as long as she likes.
Okay. Well, I don't mind her being here. Jose should be fine with it too. He loves kids. Luckily, her school is not far from our place either. But this will depend on what Emily wants. I don't want to force her too much.
Do whatever you want. She's in your hands. I don't want to think about her anymore. She's been nothing but a nuisance the past few years. She hasn't done a single thing right since her father left us. I should have put her up for adoption a long time ago.
Hey, Grace. Do you have some free time right now? It's been 2 weeks. I want to talk to you about Emily. Do you think it's time for you two to talk it out? Emily has calmed down, and I have talked to her already. I think she's ready to face you. You two can't avoid this problem forever. Let's fix this.
What do we have to talk about? What's there to fix?
You know, to talk about what's going to happen from now and why she ran away from home in the first place. I think you should hear her out.
Nah, I don't care about what happened. There's no need for me to talk to her anymore.
What do you mean?
Oh, I've thought about it over the past 2 weeks, and I've come to a conclusion. I don't have the ability to raise Emily anymore.
What?
I had a better life when that girl was not around. I was able to do so many fun things without her. I've been enjoying myself. The past 2 weeks have been the happiest time of my life since Marshawn and I split up. I want this kind of life to continue from now on, so I won't be needing her in my life now.
How could you say that? Emily is your daughter. You have the responsibility to raise her as her mother.
I don't want a daughter anymore. I didn't want her in the first place, to be honest. I only saw custody of Marshawn.
You can't be serious.
No point hiding it now. Now is a good opportunity for me to leave her and finally live my life. I give her to you and Josie. Since you guys love children so much, apparently. You guys can raise her if you want.
Excuse me?
I'm saying that you guys can adopt her and be her new parents. You know, give her a complete family. You guys don't have kids, so you should be happy about it. I don't know who's the problem here, but you're almost 40, right? Don't you want a kid in your life? Now I'm giving you Emily for free. It will save you the hassle of raising a baby from scratch.
You're giving your child to us? There are better words than give. You can't just give a child away. What about what Emily thinks? How would she feel knowing her mother is leaving her?
She's a minor. It doesn't matter what she thinks. You're her aunt anyway, so it will make the adoption process easy. You're free to take her, and you can raise her however you like. I don't want her to be in my problem anymore. She's such a little brat. She's not going to change no matter what you do.
Are you being serious right now?
Of course I am. We can start the adoption process right away. I don't want to get another phone call from her teachers or the police as long as I live. I've thought of leaving her multiple times, and I would have already if it wasn't illegal. But after carefully considering it for the past 2 weeks, I realized that I can't do it anymore. Even if Emily wants to come home to me, I'm still going to dump her at an orphanage or something like that. I don't want her in my life anymore.
This is so wrong. You're her mother. Why would a mother want to abandon her own daughter? Sure, Emily may have some problems, but you haven't even talked to her once since she came back from the police station. Don't you want to know why she did it? You can't just decide something so important without informing her. The poor thing. She should have at least a chance to talk to her mother first.
If you think it's that bad of me to do this, you raise her. Clearly, you know all about being a mother. You've been giving me pep talks. Why don't you try first? Then you'll see what a handful Emily is, and that she's never going to change. But how about it? Or is that you don't want a delinquent child either?
Whether I want to raise her or not isn't the problem here.
Well, if it's not a problem, then we're settled. I'm being dead serious. I'm giving her to you guys. If you won't take her in, then she's going to the orphanage. I'm not interested in what she'll become, nor do I want to be responsible for her in the future.
Fine. I get it. You're serious here. If Emily can't go back to you, then Jose and I will consider adopting her. But unlike you, I'm going to ask Emily how she feels before we make a final decision.
Wait, you'll really take her in? Yay! Finally! I should have suggested this a long time ago. If I knew you'd say yes, I would have done this years ago.
I just hope that you don't regret your decision later. Emily is such a good girl. Are you really sure you want to give her up? If you want to take everything back, now is the time. I'm not going to give her up if you want her back later.
A good girl? Are we talking about the same child here?
From what I'm seeing so far, she's a good kid. She's been helping around the house without us even asking her to. There have been no behavioral problems at all, but we haven't discussed things in depth yet. So maybe she's just being careful around us.
She's pretending to be a good kid so she can have someone to fall back to. Cherry, you've been fooled. I think you're the one who's going to regret this, because I won't take her back no matter what happens.
Really? You'll never want her back?
There's no chance. That girl's stupid, and she's wasted enough of my time and money. All she did was talk back to me, and she's not even cute like other kids her age. No way I want that brought in my life anymore.
Okay then. Sounds like a plan. I'll talk to Jose about the adoption as soon as he comes back from work. Then we'll talk to Emily and see what she thinks. If she says yes, then we'll start on the paperwork.
Okie dokie. I'd do anything to get rid of her. I don't care how much paperwork I have to sign. Tell me as soon as things are decided. I can't wait to be free from her. Cherry? It's been a while.
I'm sorry, but who is this?
Oh, oops. Sorry about that. I changed my number. It's Grace, you remember? Your sister-in-law, right? The mother of your child?
Grace, where have you been all these years? After we finished all the adoption paperwork, we couldn't contact you anymore. I thought something had happened to you.
Well, a lot has happened. My boyfriend moved in right after Emily left. And then we broke up, and I moved in with another man. And then it happened again. I was quite busy.
You called that busy? So busy that you didn't even have a minute to contact your family. You ignored all our calls.
I was finally alone after all those years, so I wanted to start fresh. You know, after taking care of Emily for so many years, I needed a break from all that mess.
Well, I have nothing to say to that. So why are you messaging me after all these years? I don't have anything to say to you. You abandoned Emily, and you divorced Marshawn. I don't think there's any good reason for us to talk to each other.
Oh, come on. Don't say that. I still liked you even after the divorce. Anyway, I dug up your number because I have a proposal for you and I think you're going to like it.
Really? Well then, let's hear this proposal of yours.
Emily got into Brown, right? I want you to give her back to me.
Excuse me?
I heard that you had your own kid not long after you adopted Emily. I gave her to you guys because you didn't have a child. And now that you do, you don't need her anymore, right? I appreciate how well you raised her. I'll take care of her from now on. And tell my dear Emily that she is going to live with her mommy again very soon.
What are you talking about? Your dear Emily? She's no longer here.
What? What do you mean? Where is she? I know she's accepted into Brown. I saw one of her friends, Mom, the other day at the supermarket, and she told me. Classes are starting next month. Emily has to be at your place preparing for the move.
I'm saying that your daughter is no longer here.
What are you talking about? Is this kind of stupid joke or something? She's still living at your place, right? Goodness, it's much more difficult to talk to you these days. I guess it was all the stress from raising my daughter.
What I meant is that Emily is no longer your daughter. Legally speaking, there is no one in this house you have any business with.
Biologically speaking, I'm still her mother. That's never going to change. So give her back.
What do you even want to see her for? You didn't want her.
If that girl is smart enough to get herself into Brown, then maybe she's worth giving a second chance. You have no idea how happily surprised I was when I found out she got accepted there. It just goes to show that she must have some good genes from me. Once she graduates, she'll be able to find a good job. Her future is looking bright and stable. I have to say, I'm pretty excited to be the mother of a Brown graduate.
You haven't changed a bit. You're still a selfish woman who only cares about yourself.
You can say whatever you want. I'm her real mom. You're just her foster mom. Who do you think has a stronger case here?
That's true. I'm never going to be Emily's real mom. I've only taken care of her for the past few years.
Good. So you understood. So when can I pick her up?
You were the one who said you didn't want Emily in your life. You told me that you weren't going to regret that.
So what? I changed my mind. When I left her, she was a delinquent child who couldn't listen to anything I said. But now, she's the valedictorian of her class, right? And she went to a great high school. I looked it up. Most of the kids who graduate from there end up in a good college and go on to have successful lives.
She is not going back to you.
That's not for you to decide. You're just the foster mom. I'm her biological mother, so I know that she'll listen to me. Are you trying to prevent me from getting custody of my own child? If you are, I don't mind taking this to court. We'll see who the judge chooses. The mom who gave birth to her, or her aunt. If he refuses to give her back, I'll also call the police on you.
Do as you please. I don't mind. I think if they end up arresting anyone, it'll be you, though.
Why would it be me? Just because you adopted her doesn't change the fact that I'll always be her actual mother.
Even though you're Emily's biological mom, you still have no right to take her by force. And I don't think she wants to go back to you. She's already 18 years old. She's an adult. She can make her own decisions from here out.
Of course you can make her own decisions, but how can you say she's not coming back to me? Any child who would be happy to live with her actual mother. I know Emily very well. She used to cling to me all the time when she was little.
Grace, you really don't understand your own child. Do you remember the things you did to Emily just a couple of years back?
You mean how I gave her up? I already told you the reason. Then she was more than I could handle, so I left her in your hand.
You giving her up was another thing. But I'm talking about why she became a so-called delinquent child in your eyes. Have you ever realized that you were the reason why?
Me? Are you saying that I was the reason why Emily was shoplifting? What kind of nonsense is that? What did I do to her? I gave her food and shelter, and I allowed her to go to school.
You brought home a different man every other day? You drank with them and their friends? And you made Emily serve you guys. Every night was chaotic, and you disregarded Emily's feelings. She couldn't even sleep, let alone study for school.
What's wrong with inviting your friends over and drinking with them? Have you never done that before? Or was your life too boring to do fun things? Plus, all my friends love Emily. She was their little cutie pie.
Well, they weren't her favorite people. She hated being around them and living in such an environment, and you used all the money Marshawn sent you on yourself. You didn't spend any of it on Emily. You didn't buy her new clothes or school supplies. She said you wouldn't even buy her shampoo and conditioner. That's why she was stealing from the Target. She knew it was wrong, but she had ran out of options because you wouldn't provide for her.
I bought her the bare necessities. What an ungrateful girl. And you don't have any evidence? I told you from the beginning that girl was bad. She just lied to you to get sympathy.
Of course I don't have evidence. It has been years, and Emily only told me years later. You were already out of the picture. Even if I wanted to make that into a case now, I wouldn't have any evidence to back me up. However, I believe what Emily told me. I have observed her for a couple of years now, and I know she's a good girl. Her behavior speaks for itself, and she has no reason to lie to me.
Cherry, I'm no longer the woman you knew before. Just like how Emily changed for the better, I've also changed into a better person and a better mom. I was a mess back then. I was stressed at work, and every time I saw Emily, I was reminded of her father. We fought and argued every day. I regret not listening to her more. We should have sat down and talked it out, like you said, but instead ran away from her. So I want to make it up to her now.
Is that really true?
Of course it is. I felt so bad just shortly after I gave Emily up. I carried her for 9 months. It took me a whole day for me to give birth to her. I was in shock when she was actually gone. Now that you have a child of your own, you should understand what I'm saying, right? Giving up your child is a very difficult decision to make.
Yes, I understand. Which is why I would never do something like that.
You can't imagine the stress I was under. You can't say what you would do in my circumstances, but if you can understand how hard of a choice it was to make, then give Emily back to me. I need her in my life again. I want to live with her again. I'm going to be a proper mom this time. I'll do it right this time. I want to resume my duties as a parent and take care of Emily from now on.
Like I've been saying, you aren't a parent anymore. There's no child here for you. You should have known this when you signed the paperwork. Emily is our child now. We love her just as much as we love our biological son. And she'll be a part of our family for as long as she wants. I don't know why you think I would just give her back to you. She's a person, not something you can give away and take back whenever you like.
Are you saying that just because I gave her up for adoption before, I can't live with her now?
Of course. You can live with her again, as long as she's okay with it. She'll have to decide.
But I'm the one who gave birth to her. Her mother.
That didn't stop you from giving her up. Jose and I did not just take care of Emily because we adopted her. When we adopted her, we took on the full responsibility of being her parents. We became responsible for caring for her and showing her love that should have come from you.
You don't have to do that anymore. Annul the adoption. I can take care of her from now on. I can show her my love. And I do love her. I'm her real mom. I'll take her off your hands from now on.
No matter what you say, it's too late. And you can't cancel an adoption, if that's even possible. Plus, I know the real reason why you want Emily to live with you again. And it's not because you love her. It's because you are convinced that Emily will have a bright and stable future.
How dare you? She's my daughter.
It just so happens that I also talked to Susie after you saw her at the supermarket. She told me you were asking for all the little details about Emily's life. At first, I thought it was because you wanted to see Emily again. But then I got suspicious. Why would you come back at such a time? So I did some investigating. I know what kind of life you're living now.
What do you mean you investigated me? Who the hell do you think you are?
You were fooled by a man, and now in huge debt because of gambling. You're living in a small apartment with 2 roommates, and you've got debt collectors breathing down your neck.
Well, if you know all that, then you know why I need Emily back. It's the daughter's duty to help take care of the mother.
You've hurt her once. I won't let you hurt her a second time. She doesn't need to know that her real mother wants to use her for something selfish. She told me clearly that she never wanted to see you again. I respect her wishes, so I won't allow you to go near her.
You brainwashed her, didn't you? There's no way she could have turned into a mature and sophisticated adult from that delinquent child I knew her as. What did you do to her? Hypnosis? Electroshock? You're the devil herself. I never should have given her to you. I was the one she needed before, and now she doesn't want me? Give her back to me.
I did not brainwash her. I didn't do anything to her except listen to her and take her seriously. I gave her all the love I can give her and a place she can call her own. I respect her wishes whenever possible and discipline her when I have to. She's a good girl at heart. She never caused us any trouble, but you made her seem like a delinquent without ever even listening to what she had to say. You're the devil.
Please, I beg you, I need her. I don't know what else to do. My friend has a bar. I showed him a recent picture of Emily, and he said he'll wipe out my dad if I make her work there. And Emily and I go back to being mother and daughter again. She wants to be loved by her real parents, right? It'll be like killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
That's enough nonsense. You're just the same selfish woman that I knew you as. No, you're even worse than you were before. You're disgusting. You've hurt Emily enough for 1 lifetime. and I won't let you near her again. She's got a bright future ahead of her, and you're nothing but trouble. I won't let my child be separated from her parents anymore. Grace came to my house and made a ruckus, screaming that we give Emily back. She was making a scene and disturbing all our neighbors. We called the police on her right away. They took her away after she raised a fist to one of the officers. Emily told Grace that she was no longer her mother. I was amazed to see that Emily's words were still actually able to hurt her. Did she not realize what a terrible mother she is? She deserved it. Grace was taken away in tears. The police later told us that she cried the whole night in the detention room. We asked them to ensure that Grace never appears in front of us again, and we're planning to get a restraining order. If Grace ever decides to hurt my daughter again, then we're not going to stand by and let it slide. I don't know what happened to Grace in the end, but since she couldn't get Emily to work for her friend, she must be looking for another way. Emily is happily preparing for her new life as a college student. It's like she's a completely different girl than when she first came to live with us. She's much more active, and she seems much happier. It did take some time for us to understand each other's viewpoints, and there were several big fights at first. But we overcame all the obstacles, and now I think we can talk to each other about anything. She has opened up to me. She even talks to me about her love life, and she's very good with her younger brother, even though there's an age gap of 10+ years. She is just a lovely and sweet young girl. I know I'm not the one who carried her through 9 months of pregnancy and gave birth to her, but I can proudly call her my daughter. I wish to keep our relationship for as long as possible. I will do all that I can to protect her from Grace, and I will ensure that Emily is happy and living the life she deserves and wants.